this module covers the interview mastery model, and it's a visual model to help you remember what to do at each point during the interview. So the model itself has three main sections. The first part is called the opening. This takes place in the first 5 minutes of the interview. This is, first, you'll hear some typical interview questions like, tell me about yourself. That means you have an unskilled interviewer. But in the interview mastery model, it's about what you do and what you want to accomplish. And it really just comes down to asking a couple of questions, maybe just one question. And we'll do that specifically in the module titled Opening. The middle part of the interview takes up the majority of the time. You could call it the selling phase, you could call it dialogue. It's really about communication. And that part of the interview has three parts. One, at its core, is about communications. That's really, if you're only going to remember one thing, that's it. Other part is how to talk about your experience and translate it into the benefits of hiring you. And I'll talk to you very simple transitional phrases to use that. The third part of this selling phase or the dialogue phase is what I call weaknesses. This is where you are handling actual weaknesses that you have. Rather than saying, oh, I don't have that experience, that's not going to do it. You want to be able to come back and address that weakness while you're in the interview, and I'm going to give you a very simple structure in how to talk about it and demonstrate that you can still do the job, even though you might have this weakness that appears on the job description, which is an assembly of opinions. So, and the last part of the interview is actually the most important. The closing phase, this is where you're asking a couple of questions at the end to gather feedback. Gathering feedback being one of your 4 key objectives. And the reason it's so important at the end is you want to gather feedback to make sure that their perception of you is accurate. And if that's the case, then you have done an excellent job of communicating. And if they make a decision to go with somebody else, at least you feel awesome about how you performed during that meeting. So remember, interview mastery model during the interview has 3 sections: opening, selling, closing. And that selling part has 3 sections: the benefits of hiring you, communications, and handling weaknesses. There's a module for each one of those. Let's keep going. You're going to be awesome.